I now have the second rear axle off the car. Now I need to get on with pulling it apart so I can replace the bearing. So on with that. Right, so an update on where I'm up to with getting the outer flange off the axle. Nowhere, really. So I've been trying with the bearing puller over and over again. I'm about to try again with some heat to see if that'll do it. And to be honest, I'm getting to the point now where, other than the fact that I do need to change the wheel studs, and that's a bit awkward with the outer flange still attached to the axle, it's probably doable, so I might just be cleaning everything up, redoing the trunnion bushings, and calling it a day. Kind of disappointing given how nicely the other ones turned out, but I'll just have to come back to it at a later date if that's the way it goes. So we'll give this one more go and see if anything happens. Otherwise, I think tomorrow I'm going to be just yeah, resorting to plan B. Of course, this isn't a very hot flame, so maybe that I'd actually need to go find myself a blowtorch. To really get this hot. Because the trouble is it's so tight on the axle that the axle will be heating up and expanding as well. And I don't really have anything suitable to get in here to cool the axle. Well, as you see, it's still stuck. So I think I'll be moving to plan B tomorrow. Right, see you then. So I relented in the end, and it's now a few days later. I've taken the axle to an engineering shop, and they, with quite a bit of heat and effort and a very large press, managed to get the outer flange off the axle. Now I can proceed with the rest of the job. Okay, next up we need to clean up the thread on the end of the axle. And to do that, I'm going to be taking this nut and turning it into a thread cleaning device. Okay, so the idea here is going to be to use a hacksaw to cut in the threads. Okay. So you can see there, you have 3 cuts in there, making it basically a simple cutting die. Give it a bit of a brush first to get anything relatively loose out. Really doesn't like going on. Yeah. much like using a tap or die. Screwing it on a little bit, then backing it off. I'm also checking to see everything okay. Hold up. Alright. Next up, it's time to clean up all these parts. Okay, that's the flange all nice and clean, all the rust gone. Now I'm going to fit the new studs. Okay, and there we go, all done, fitted in nice and tidily. Okay, that's the backing plate all cleaned up, and I've also welded up the tab for the retaining spring of the handbrake. Unfortunately, during the welding, we had one casualty. This, believe it or not, is that tray I was using to clean things in. Flammable plastic things in welding. Not a good mix. Never mind, nobody got hurt. Moving on. Right, next I'll be doing the main hub. Okay, so that's the hub all clean, ready for new bearings. Had a bit of trouble getting the nylon insert out because it was all melted from the engineering shop having to use heat to get the drive flange off the axle. But that's all clean and tidy now, ready for new bearings. Okay, I'm still waiting for the backing plate to finish drying, having been painted, but I'm going to start the assembly of everything now. So on with that. First thing I need is all the parts and the stone guard. So that goes on, and then we measure off of this. So I need a measuring device. And this needs to be exactly 6 inches. Right. Okay, as it happens, I had some old pipe from an old clothesline and it turns out to be exactly the right size. So on with the pummeling. Something to watch while doing this, I've now got the hub in the right position, but the stone guard actually moved with all that pounding on the hub. Oops. Go, that's better. So the best way to know when the hub is actually in the right position is to put the drive flange on and make sure you've got some room for it to compress on with the nut, but it should be fairly, I think. To be fair, this is what worked for me on the other side, so getting it within a couple of millimeters of the bearing so that when it's tightened down it'll more or less be against the bearing, and then the seal will fit on it and everything will be nice and happy. Okay, I'm going to end the video there for today. If you want to catch up on the second half of this effort, then hit that subscribe button and ding the bell to get notifications. And if you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. So next time we'll be finishing off the axle and getting it back on the car most likely, all going well. So see you then. Bye.